So you have learned how to synthesize DNA. What kind of new DNA-like molecules do you want to make? What can you do using the characteristics of DNA? Can you use DNA for something else? You have also learned the principles of PCR reaction. What can you do with PCR? I gave you 2 application examples. What can you do something else? So what problems do you want to solve? What technology can you develop out of PCR? So creating an idea is very different from memorizing facts. Can you do it? I'll give you a hint. The certain techniques can be used to formulate new ideas. One of the standard approaches is called Scamper method. S in Scamper stands for substitution. When you are working on one particular subject, try to divide into parts first. Here is what you are working on. Try to divide what you are working on into parts. This is the first thing you need to do. And substitute one part with another. So for example, this one, you can substitute this one with something else. Then that is substitution. So for example, let's consider the ghost stories. Do you like ghost stories? I actually love them. In most of the ghost stories, we see, hear, and touch ghosts. So only 3 of the 5 senses we have are engaged: sight, hearing, and touch. However, we have 5 senses. That's what Takashi Atoda, a Japanese writer, thought. So he decided to substitute the typical senses of sight, hearing, and touch with smell or taste in his ghost stories. He described a favorite perfume of a deceased woman wafting from an elevator into a corridor late at night, and the husband suddenly tasting foods his deceased wife loved to cook. Clearly, these substitutions added a new dimension to his ghost stories. As I mentioned in the previous lecture, DNA can also be divided into parts. How about this idea, which was published in Science some time ago by Professor Shionoya from University of Tokyo? Some scientists have proposed replacing the DNA bases. So DNA base pairing is based on the hydrogen bonding, but other pairings are possible. In this synthetic DNA variant, artificial bases are designed to coordinate with copper. Coordinate with copper here. So this one is different from the natural base pairing. You need copper to have interaction with each other. So that's why the copper atoms align in the double helical structure, just like an electroconductive wire. So this idea falls under the Scamper categories substitute. The next approach is combine a variety of factors such as problems, objectives, elements, and ideas can be combined. So these combinations stimulate thinking and can be used to solve two or more problems simultaneously. That personally, I like combining problems. So if you combine problems and solve them in a single process, people usually appreciate your ideas. You may be able to hit two birds with one stone. For example, an elementary school in the United States has a program called Reading Marathon. A local bank donates 10 cents to a refugee camp in Africa for every book read by the students at the school. Instead of simply making donations, the bank combined its educational purpose by giving students opportunities to read books. So every time a student reads a book, he or she can also have a satisfaction of contributing to needy people in Africa. How can we come up with such ideas? My recommendation is to have multiple problems in your mind all the time. So these are multiple problems. These are multiple problems you have. You gotta have all of these problems in your mind all the time. Then, once you conceive an idea to solve one problem, for example, this one. Here's the idea to solve this problem. Then try to apply the same idea to other problems you have in your mind, one by one. Then most of the time, it doesn't work. But if you identify another problem you may be able to solve with this same idea, you can further modify this problem, this idea, to fit with both of these two problems here. Then you might be able to solve these two problems with one idea. In the next video clip, I will explain more about the Scamper method.